Boulder's open space surrounds the city. It has one of the most extensive open space programs of any city or county in the country, but it started with the purchase of the land for the Chautauqua.
Nestled at the base of the Flatirons lies 40 acres of sheer natural beauty. It's a haven for community and cultural enrichment. The Chautauqua movement of the early 20th century promoted simple living, lifelong learning, and an appreciation for the arts. President Theodore Roosevelt called the movement the most American thing in America. Colorado Chautauqua, a National Historic Site, was founded in 1898 as a summer retreat for Texas educators. Tuition and lodging for the 6-week program was $75.
There are only 3 Chautauquas in continuous operation left in the country, and ours here in Colorado is the only one that's year-round. There are 100 cottages. 60 are owned by the Colorado Chautauqua Association, and the other 40 are privately owned, many of the owners being descendants of the original Texans. So we have this amazing legacy, and now 5th generation coming back. It's very exciting.
Arranged in rows platted on a triangular site, the camp-style cottages were constructed from an uncomplicated aesthetic.
These are all Boulder city streets. It's not a private community. It's not a homeowner association. It's just a neighborhood. A historic neighborhood, but it's just a neighborhood.
They are not Victorian. They are not craftsmen. They were built very simply, and they call it vernacular architecture, but they're very sweet and charming even in their simplicity. And the simplicity is what draws most people to Chautauqua. I mean, that is an underlying theme. Simplicity with substance.
A long-standing favorite is the 1911 Arts and Crafts Mission House Lodge. Its spectacular living room and huge stone fireplace create an artful and inviting environment. The 1917 Craftsman-style community house includes the Grand Assembly Hall, famous for its balcony that circles the entire 2nd floor while overlooking the ballroom floor below.
You get a feel for the place, and part of preservation is bringing back that feel. It's not just bringing the building back, it's wanting to be able to walk into that building and say, hey, I've stepped back in time.
Ever since 1919, we have been up here. My first 2 summers up here were with my great-grandmother during World War II in 44 and 45. My great-grandmother, my mother, my aunt, and 2 cousins and I all lived here for 3 months by pooling all of our gas rations. We had arts and crafts, and we had dance classes and music classes. Always hiking and picnics have been a part of this place from the beginning.
Then and now, folks gathered at the elegant dining hall with its wraparound veranda. Back in the day, meals cost only 35 cents. The twin towers atop the dining hall mirror the Moorish towers on the auditorium.
I've been here 20 years, but every time I walk in that building, I'm just almost in awe. Looking at the construction and looking at the truss rafters, it amazes me that they built that building in 45 days in 1898 with no power tools, no cranes.
They built the auditorium like it was a giant barn, and guys back then knew how to raise barns. Even our auditorium is like a barn on steroids.
The auditorium is an amazing structure of ingenuity and design. The post and beam construction is polygon shape and is situated to face the valley floor below.
Some beams that are at the top that are 81 feet long, they're 60 feet tall, they weigh 3 tons. Boards that are on the outside just butted up, it's never been insulated. If you're inside on a summer day and you look outside, you'll see cracks and you'll see daylight shining right through. Originally had a dirt floor. Original benches. Colorado's first moving picture show was actually shown in that first year, 1898, in the Chautauqua Auditorium.
There's something that's kind of magic that happens. First of all, we're in this wonderful old auditorium. We're all looking at a movie that's 80 years old or more. You go back in time here in both of these ways. And so I enjoy seeing the movie just as anybody does who would be sitting out in the audience. In fact, people laugh at me when I say this, but I really think of myself as just another person who's watching the movie, only I happen to be playing the piano.
100 years from now, if we have been successful, this place will not look or feel very different. And its reason for being has not shifted. It is doing the same thing, it is being the same thing today that it was when it was founded in 1898.